Good morning to you all. Today's topic is about teaching English in Fiji, the strengths, weaknesses, and improvements. Introduction. The English language is a standard language known globally. Wherever we go, English language is there, right? It is used as a medium of communication. Nowadays, it's really important to know English language for better communication and understanding. In the school system of Fiji, it is dominant language and mandatory. It has been seen that in the school system, you need to have a pass in English for you to join a university or any other tertiary institution. Therefore, this presentation will focus on various aspects such as syllables, teaching materials, methods, assessments, age of introduction, training of English teachers, and difference between the first language and the second language. And also it will discuss the strengths and weakness and the way English is taught in schools. Some of the aspects of English, syllables different in primary and secondary school, right? Syllables of English is quite different compared to primary and secondary. Methods, student-centered approach to learning, teacher-centered methods of instruction and differentiated instruction. Teaching materials, textbooks, study guides, charts, portfolios, and many more. Assessments, formative, summative, and interim forms of assessments. Age of introduction, either the ages of 4 and 5 above. However, it is different in language 1, speaker of English. Medium of instruction from the ages of 4 and 5 above. Training of English teachers happens in tertiary, for example, ED 300 practicum in USP. The difference between the two languages, language 1 and language 2. Language 1 is the native language or the mother tongue language that we grow up with. Language 2 is the foreign language which is learned later on, which is the English. Difference in the process of acquisition. The main difference is input. Other differences is output, interaction, and motivation. Language 2 features are different from language 1 features.
Weaknesses in teaching English. Syllabus. Overburdened curriculum is a result. There are less opportunities for language learning. For example, the curriculum contains elements which are not meant to be taught at that level. The curriculum is not very well structured. Curriculum developers, according to Taman, must include a specific perspective in the curriculum. Like when designing the curriculum, it is a must, and the designers they bear in the mind that how the specific way and how the L2 learners will incorporate with those syllabus and take up English better. Teaching methods and materials, a variety of English tutors at various levels. So basically, we have seen in normal school streams that teachers change on various levels, and their teaching methods are very different and to one another. So the student can get confused on how and what changes will they find in the teaching methods. Teachers are rushing to finish the syllabus, and we normally see this in school that the teachers are so into the completion of their syllabus, and they are not looking at what they are teaching and how well the students are learning the language. Moving on, assessments. Assessment are important parts of the teaching and learning process. English and the other best subjects decide the marks on the test. Like for example, in Fiji, the English is a compulsory subject in Fiji with maths, and then the other optional subjects are added on for decide the total mark of an student. So that mark can be referred to the tertiary institutions. The second language marks in external exams determine whether or not a student advances to the next level of study. This one is really important. For example, in Fiji, if you fail English, you are determined as a failure. No matter you score 100 in other subjects, if you fail English, you will be classified as a failure. Teacher training. This is an important part of the whole system, as teacher training is done at teachers have the same educational system as students. Like once teachers are also students, so they come through the same process of learning. L2 speakers and teachers are taught how to teach a second language. So mostly the teaching and learning process impacts the L2 learners of how they learn the language.
Looking at the studies in teaching English syllables, English is taught as a separate language. We all know that it is not taught as all the subjects out of five, but therefore it is a teacher should teach separately. Whereas English, along with the subjects that are part of the national curriculum, are embedded and highlighted in English. We all know that English is a worldwide required language, and in the curriculum as well. Like no matter what you are doing, but English should be there. Teaching methods and materials. Students develop skills of reading and speaking in English through oral teaching from year 1 to 3, and exposure to English literature improves the art of communication. Whereas assessment in English measures skills acquired by L2 speakers, whereas teachers are trained to teach English as a separate subject. Like for us, we are our majors are like English, so therefore from past 4 years we are trained how and where and what type of teaching will be carried out to students. English language proficiency test for trainee teachers before entering the workforce. For us, like after graduation, we have to sit for this particular test to like enter the main workforce.
Looking at the improvements in the teaching of English. For our syllabus, it contains consistency in the teaching of English proficiency across the curriculum from ECE to Year 13. This means that after finishing a level and entering the next, the quality of the English taught is still the same. Syllabus for both primary and secondary needs restructured. Restructuring in the sense that the syllabus is the same when finishing high school and moving to university. Literacy, language and communication for lower primary needs ramifications. Shift from teaching for exam purpose to teaching English for academic purpose. This means that English shouldn't be taught just for passing the unit, but taught in a way that makes students stay. Emphasis in the acquisition of cognitive academic language proficiency in lower primary. This is the part that emphasizes on assessing individuals who speak English as a second language in order to improve their English language skills. Syllabus is designed to cater for L1 and L2 speakers. Our teaching methods and materials, teaching practices needs improvement, and emphasis on expression, grammar, syntax, and sentence construction. Expose learners to both positive and negative input. This helps them to consider the good and the bad in order to improve. Approach to language teaching emphasize integrative approach. When teaching students, Teachers should be able to cover the four basic language skills simultaneously. These are reading, writing, speaking, and listening. The availability of educational resources, textbooks and other English-related materials should be available to the students. More exposure and variety of English context. Students should make certain time where their focus is on improving their English. Assessments. It emphasizes on assessments for learning rather than assessment of learning. It includes more innovative feedback practices as well. This is when students are encouraged to participate in discussion forums or in the class and during debates. Our teacher training is teaching of English as a second language to be introduced for English teachers. Teaching teacher training specialists to teach English alone, not two subjects. Refresher courses to cater for English teachers every 5 years. And lastly, admission to university entrance policy to change and not cater the 50% pass rate.
To sum up, English being the mode of instruction in Fiji schools, there is a need to look at how the language is taught. As we have already talked about it during the presentation, that the English is the main mode of communication in Fijian schools. So the way English is improved and to see the language learned very efficiently. English language is an important tool in learning, and there is a need to review the policies in place to cater for the proficiency and second language acquisition. So the policies in place for the language learning and such as the Ministry of Education should bring in curriculum which simplifies the learning procedure of English in Fijian schools, which will eventually help the second language users to learn English quickly. Measures and improvements highlighted will ensure the teaching of English to be sufficient overall. This was our presentation. Thank you all for listening.